AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You. So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Teed up, Todd Walker in 15 minutes from right now. We're glad you're hanging out with us. The football Tigers are back on the practice field Tuesday. Lane Kiffin is said he's opening up the rest of spring to the media. We can go full access to watch all of practice. So was out there after Saturday's 2+ hour scrimmage in Tiger Stadium. Another couple hours we got to watch on Tuesday, and then we met with Lane Kiffin afterwards. It was a day where, if you missed our practice report, Saturday was, to be blunt, it was just very bad. It was very bad offensively. Lane Kiffin used the word discouraging when he described the way the offense performed on Saturday. Tuesday was a day where the offense punched back. They hit big plays, and it was really good to see. And Lane Kiffin was asked about the work that they have to do. And I thought this was I thought Lane Kiffin was really good today, y'all. I think he's been very good with us throughout this entire spring. I think the way I've said it, I think he's very thoughtful. Not thoughtful in terms of being like considerate of the feelings of others. I mean, just thoughtful about what he's telling us and the way he's communicating. And it's very interesting because we're learning Lane. I mean, we see all the social media stuff, but he hasn't coached a game here yet. He's been in Baton Rouge since December. Whatever your thoughts were, preconceived notions of watching a guy from afar, it's different when you sit in a room with him and you hear him talk for 30 minutes and you ask him questions and you get this time and and you learn. And I thought that this was really interesting when he was talking about, what he means by with the team has a lot of work still to do.
I told him, you can't think just because you sign the number 1 portal class and you come in here that, you're going to national championship. It didn't work that way, and studied time, it didn't work that way. It didn't work that way last year. The number 1 class. So, because when I say there's a lot of work to do, that's not talking about years. That's not buying times. None of that. It's just saying there's a lot of work to do when you come into a program and you've got to change a lot of things when you take over, and not just offensively, but the whole culture of a program takes some time.
He said it's why I'm up here all the time. He talked about always trying to find new ways. It was when he was talking about. So he was asked about Nick Saban and. So they've changed some positions, right? Like Bo Bordelon was playing tackle, and now he's playing first team at left guard. We saw today Deuce Geralds, who's a really, you could tell, just a giant motor, explosive athlete. He got some run today in the jumbo package as a fullback, took a carry. So you're seeing some of that. Trades, they're moving him all over the formation. He was asked if he learned that from Saban, moving guys at different positions, and actually he took it a completely different angle.
I think more from him comes, I find myself now like the obsession of winning, the obsession of every day of like, there's got to be something that we can do better. And I find myself like that. And I think maybe now our coaches get a little annoyed with me, maybe like I did him. And it's like where you're kind of never pleased. I find myself like that. So that really what I feel taking from him is more than that, really the different position. But in that, you look at everything. Could this guy play somewhere else? Could he do something else? Like there's got to be a way to play better than we did yesterday and to practice better than we did yesterday each day. And I mean, that's why I'm here all the time, trying to figure out some way of something we can do better.
I mean, if we're being very candid, don't you love hearing that from your head football coach? It's why I'm here all the time, trying to think of a way we can do something better. I'm obsessed with winning. Like, this is like you're learning what drives him. And yes, like he's on social media a lot. And he said at the beginning of spring, like, don't get confused because I'm at parades or, on my boat. Like, you're also seeing Lane Kiffin starting a coffee pot at 4 a.m. and leaving the facility at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Nobody doubts how much this guy is working. Now, it's got to result in wins on the field, but that's the thing that's driving him. That's the obsession he has right now at this point in his life as a guy in his early 50s. So how do you get there, I think, is going to be really interesting. Well, fixing some of what has ailed you is a giant part of that. There was probably no unit on LSU's team a year ago that was worse than the offensive line. And they made the very conscious decision to overhaul that unit. They could have, now this isn't new, we talked about this, they could have gone to DJ Chester and Cohen Eccles, and a lot of those guys, Ori Williams, a lot of those guys that left, Tyree Adams, they could have gone to those guys and were like, look, they haven't performed well, but got a lot invested in these guys. They've been here. They've got a lot of experience. Let's see if we can teach them our system and maybe be the beneficiary of guys who've played a lot. They could have done that. They didn't. They're like, you know what? Full reset. Let's go do evaluations and get guys we want to bring in here. They prioritized Braylon Moore, who they brought back. And by the way, Weston Davis, to his credit, is still running first-team right tackle. And that's a guy that was a 5-star, giant ceiling, phenomenal athlete, two-sport guy, great feet. I mean, he's a tackle. Was really bad a year ago. But he's still running with the ones right now. And Lane Kiffin, when he was asked about the offensive line, they're 10 practices in. But my goodness, this has got to be music to LSU fans' ears.
Yeah, I think that offensively position has probably developed the best, through a couple weeks and, has played well together. And in my opinion, is dramatically improved from when we got here. So that's probably been the one bright spot as you re-looked at the film. Now, again, like I said, I have really high standards and expectations, and we're not tackling. So that obviously creates more yards because there's missed tackles within a game and you feel a little better. But I think the offensive line is coming along really well.
One of the things that they really struggled to do a year ago, obviously, was protect. Another thing they really struggled to do was run block in any situation, let alone short yardage situations. I told you they had an inside run period where Dylan Jones scored 2 touchdowns. They had a short yardage goal line situation where they ran a 4th and 1 play. Dylan Jones ran for 2 yards on a power straight up the middle. On a 3rd and goal from the 1, Dylan Jones got in the end zone on a 3rd and goal from the 1. I mean, do you remember last year when it Caden Durham who got tackled at the 1 against Vanderbilt on that breakaway run, and we're all going, I don't believe they're going to score. And they didn't, like tackle for loss, penalty, and then they go backwards. Like, it's good to see progress. Things that sound easy and common sense, but weren't easy in elementary for this team a year ago or in the last 2 years that are starting to develop. I mean, his word was dramatic improvement. 10 practices, great. 5 more, and then workouts and June workouts and then fall camp and then game week. How much better can they get? Hopefully a lot. That's encouraging. And by the way, one big change we have seen is Bo Bordelon. Remember, speaking of guys changing positions, so Devin Harper had been running first-team left guard. Here over the last week now, we've seen Bo Bordelon, who's a veteran player here, move from the second-team right tackle now to first-team at left guard. Here's why.
He's just done a really good job. We moved him into guard and had a competition going there, and as of Saturday, won it, even though obviously we're not playing a game. But we don't just make a depth chart and you stay there. If you get outplayed, we move the depth chart, daily. And he's been doing a great job and deserved the right to go in there and start, and did a good job and play tackle and guard. And I think coaching, that has nothing to do with whoever the coaches were before. Nothing to do with that. Coaching always, sometimes fresh starts are good for players, and guys come in and see different things or a different system. And our line coaches have been really excited about him from day one working. James Craig had a background with him back from when he was in high school, and so he's done a good job.
Eric Wolford, James Craig, again, different coaches, fresh set of eyes to look at a skill set within this offense to see how it may manifest. Pretty cool to see how all I mentioned this on social, but I do think this is true. It's been pretty cool so far to watch through 10 practices this evolution. We haven't gotten to watch everything. We've seen small samples until the last 2 times out, but from the small samples and what you thought you were extracting from them to now see a larger sample the last 2 times out and hear Lane talk about it has been pretty cool to see a lot of this development. So still as Lane said, still a long, long way to go. They got time. He's not saying it's going to be years. There's just a lot of work to do. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Our Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine. A lot of people, maybe you're buying that farmland. Even if you need farm equipment, First South Farm Credit can help you finance that farm equipment. Maybe you need the 1,000 acres for agriculture. First South Farm Credit can help you. Buying land is different than buying a home. It's why you need a loan officer that has experience in helping people buy land. First South Farm Credit is just the best at that because they've been doing it now for more than 100 years. Like Craig Grogan, they posted this one on social media. It was a review about Craig. One of their loan officers said, one of the best financing experiences I've had. I wish all transaction went this smooth and seamless. Again, that was Craig Grogan there talking about his experience with First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. Yours could be next at First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review, Tuesday edition of AFR. LSU Baseball is back on the diamond tonight against Northwestern State, 6:30 first pitch. If we get that lineup before we're off air, of course, we'll share it with you. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks in 30 minutes. It's already posted over at LouisianaSports.net if you want to get it there. When we come back, T-Dub, one of the all-time greats, Todd Walker, will join us next. Is it even salvageable with LSU in the second half of conference? We'll ask him next on AFR.
After Further Review.
All right, we are officially now into pool season. And we're going to get to 90 degrees before the end of this week. It's pool season. A lot of you got to maybe get that heater on your pool. Maybe you've already been swimming for a few weeks. Or maybe you've just braved the upper 70s, lower 80-degree pool temps. I like my pool water a little bit warmer than that. But it's up to you. Hey, but look, the bottom line is pool season's here. And if you have a pool, you know how awesome that is. It means your spring and summer weekends, even just every day when you get home from work or whatever it may be, you just go get a little cool off in your pool, maybe a little exercise, a little family time. It's a reality. It's a dream that becomes a reality for people in our area every single day. And Duplessis Pools makes that happen. The website is duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. Derek Duplessis and his team do beautiful work, and they offer a 10-year workmanship warranty. So they stand behind the product they build. duplessisbuilders.net.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
These fields in the hot summer sun, over by the gate, Lordy, here's... I didn't say a whole lot after the game. Like, I told him that I'm proud of the comeback, but the baseball wasn't good enough to win. Don't have a lot else for you right now, so we're going to get back to it on Tuesday. We're going to practice before the game tomorrow. Full practice, not just the regular pregame BP. There's plenty of stuff that we need to work on, and hopefully it leads to a good performance tomorrow night.
That was Jay Johnson on his coach's show Monday night. Todd Walker, all-time great, good enough to join us here on the show. T-Dub, how are you, man?
Good. What's happening?
Well, I mean, you're watching the same stuff I am with this team. You ever had a coach make you go through a full practice before a game?
Yeah. I was in the big leagues with Tom Kelly. He'd run us through all kind of stuff. We'd have full infield, outfield every game. I'd have early BP down in the cage and then get on the field for early BP. Then we'd have regular BP. That was every day.
It sounds like you don't like that. What do you think about this decision by Jay Johnson to make his team practice today?
Well, it's clearly you don't do it when you're winning, so it's a desperation thing that may work. You know, I mean, the kids probably need a little more focus. I think you and I have talked about this. They're talented. So how do you bring it out? And that's what he's trying to do.
I'm glad you mentioned the talented part, because T-Dub, it's something we've talked about a bunch, man. I mean, and you could look at draft projections and scout evaluations and all that stuff, and there's a lot of guys with a bunch of talent. It just hasn't really manifest. So if you were to put your finger on it, and maybe we start like with the transfer guys who we've talked a bunch about, why do you think that hasn't worked out this year?
If you talk to Mike Rooney, who I think is one of the best college baseball minds, as he tracks everybody around the country, he'll tell you the transfer pool just wasn't as talented as it's been in the past. I mean, there wasn't a Paul Skeens. There wasn't these big bashers that we've had in the past. Tommy White. And so you got Zach York, who hit 339 at Grand Canyon last year. He's hitting 250. You got Dardar, hit 326 at K-State, hitting 260. So it just, you'd have to ask them individually what they feel like the difference is. Replacing three infield guys. Milam, of course, he hit 326 2 years ago. And Milam's down in the he's hitting 260 range. So, none of these guys are really living up to their capability. I know Auburn loved Chris Stanfield. They said this kid in 4 years is going to be a star, and it just hasn't happened. And so it's kind of a combination of a lot of guys that they thought, would have this star power that just don't.
Can they fix it?
100%. And look, let me talk everybody off the ledge here. The 2024 team would have loved to be 6-9 in the conference right now. They were 3-12, and they go 10-5 the rest of the way, get to that magic number. So keep in mind, in the SEC regular season wins, I think the tournament counts too. You got to get to that 13. So LSU's at 6 right now. Is that doable? Of course it is. 2024, they make it in by going all the way to the final of the tournament. Lost to Tennessee. They should have won the SEC tournament when everybody felt in 2024 like they feel right now. And you'll remember they go to North Carolina, lost in extra innings, and they would have hosted a Super that year because West Virginia came out of the other side as a 3 seed. Yep. They would have hosted in Baton Rouge and could have got to Omaha. So it depends on what we're talking about here. Are we going to win the conference? No. Are they going to win the national championship? Well, the beauty is we don't know that yet. We'll wait and see. But I think they're capable. They don't have Paul Skeens. They don't have Cade Anderson. But Cason Evans is clearly capable. William Schmidt's clearly capable. They need to get Cooper Moore back because it's obvious by now they don't have a third guy. And the bullpen, is matchups. There's not a guy you bring in that can go 4-5 and just dominate. Gavin Guidry's, they've been trying to get him to be that guy, but I think that Gavin Guidry loves the rush of the 8th and 9th inning with a chance to win the game. I think his role is in the closing spot, but that's not me being around him every day. And he's kind of been forced to be that long relief guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Devin Sheeran is capable. He's got a lot of moxie. But these guys are having to pick up spots where I don't believe that's their actual role. And, Zach Cowan's been better. But let me put it in perspective too. 103 free passes, walks, and hit by pitches in the 15 conference games. And that's compared to Auburn, who has 52. So there's 51 free passes extra that LSU's given up than a team like Auburn within just 15 games of the conference. That's a ton. And then when you're playing in the SEC where they're going to earn it also, and you're dead last in errors, 20 errors in 15 games, you're not going to win. You can't win that way. That's why they're having extra practice. We got to clean up the defense. We've got to throw strikes.
Todd Walker's with us. I'm glad. Like my literal next note is pitchers throwing strikes. How do you get pitchers that, as you just documented, haven't been able to throw strikes to start throwing strikes?
There was a scenario, and look, Nate Yeske's not going to just hit it. It's not him. So man on second and third, bases loaded, 3-1. He's likely to throw the pitcher's secondary third pitch and try to get a swing and miss, and that's where you walk guys. But we had a scenario with Houston Christian. It's not LSU, but this is kind of what's happening. Their 8 spot was up, the other team, and he's leading off an inning, and it's a 2-0 count. And we drop a curveball on him. Well, it's non-competitive, 3-0, walk him. 3 runs later, we were wondering why we threw the 8-hole a curveball as a leadoff hitter. And that's happening a lot. 30 years ago when we played, and I love that, back when I played, but it was a 2-0 fastball. Here, hit it. The odds are in my favor. In college baseball, as you see with the hitters as they're going now, if he's successful 35% of the time, he's fantastic. He's a superstar. What that means is 65% of the time, if I pump a fastball right down the middle, I'm going to win. And so I think we've lost sight of that. And I talked to Dan McDonald, the Louisville coach, a few days ago, and he goes into, why do we have the same strike zone as the big leagues? Those are the best in the world. These are high school kids that are 2 or 3 years removed. They're throwing the metal bats. They're trying to chase velocity because they want to get drafted. The answer to your question is throw your primary pitch more often. It might not be your fastball, but let's challenge some people.
Todd, I was having a conversation with a scout this weekend about why LSU throws so many sliders. If you keep walking people, why aren't you throwing more fastballs?
Because he's not giving in. They're just not going to give in.
It sounds so simplistic, but it's so obvious. It seems so obvious, right? Wouldn't you rather make them swing than keep putting guys on base when that's so clearly an issue? But again, I'm just a formerly fat bald guy who sits here on the radio and talks for 3 hours. The next pitch I call in a game will be my first. What do I know? Yeski's won national titles at 2 different places and been to Omaha and put 4 different places. So what do I know?
Watch this scenario, Matt. The 2-2. So watch the scenario on a 2-2 count. We try to get and I don't mean LSU. I mean there is a pandemic of walks in college baseball. Back for the reasons I told you earlier. But watch next time when somebody gets a 2-2 count. We're trying to get a swing and miss, so we throw our third best pitch or whatever, our strikeout pitch, and we don't get a bite on it. Now it's 3-2, and we either throw the same pitch or we regrip with all this pressure, to throw a strike, and that's how they walk people. The other thing too, as a hitter at 2-2, I don't know what's coming. I'm cycling through my mind about 4 different pitches. You throw ball 3, now I've got a better idea of what's coming. Now it's a plus count in my favor. And so what I always thought as a hitter is you stand up there on a 2-2 count and you shake. Just give them some little bit of doubt and throw a fastball. Throw a fastball 2-2, throw a fastball 3-2. Now that's not all the time 100%, but you know where I'm going with this. Is 2-2, there's still a little bit of doubt. But watch the 2-2s, how much non-competitive pitchers thrown. And again, I'm not talking about LSU. I'm talking about in general. The 2-2 count is such a big deal in terms of walking guys. And I just think, and I keep going out to my boy Brett Laxton, who in the national championship game threw 100 and some odd pitches, struck out 16, threw 7 sliders the entire game. He sat up there and he shook and he shook and he threw fastball after fastball and elevated above the waist, which is a good swing and miss pitch, and threw strikes, threw it over the plate, and struck out 16, set a record, and only threw 7 sliders the whole game.
Shout out Brett Laxton.
Yeah, so I mean, it's possible, and what I love about that story, he was willing to challenge people in the national championship game. They just couldn't hit it, and it was all fastballs. So what I'm saying is, as a hitter, when you're thinking he might throw something else, and whatever count that may be, that's when the fastball works even better.
I mean, what an awesome conversation, man. I don't know, Todd, if that went over a lot of people's heads, but I'm just so hoping that most people will watch the game tonight or this weekend through a different prism, what to look for in a 2-2 count, look for more fastballs, stop walking people, make them hit it. I'd love to see it play out that way. Hey, quick thought, Tigers and Aggies this weekend. Give me. You've gotten to see A&M play a bunch, obviously, with what you do with the SEC Network. Give me a thought on that series, if you would.
With the Aggies?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you first thing is you go into that lineup and you circle Caden Sorrell. He can't beat you. I mean, he's just hitting everything all over the ballpark. Gavin Grohovac's back. They've got the best offense statistically in the league. And so they don't swing it a lot, but when they do, they make contact. Like, they don't foul a lot of balls off. The Partita kid is really good. The offense is really good. Aiden Sims, the right-hander, is having a big year. Shane Sadeo, the lefty, also really good. They don't walk a ton of people. Clayton Freshcorn comes in the game. It's he's in his role. So that back to what we're talking about with Gavin Guidry. I see Gavin Guidry like Freshcorn, like he's the guy on the back end that we want, to close games out, not somebody, that's having to throw 4 innings to just set up the next guy. But A&M can swing it. That's the bottom line. And remind me, are they in Baton Rouge?
They're in Baton Rouge, yep.
Yeah, and so that's an advantage, right? I mean, all these teams, they're supposed to play so much better at home. Like college baseball, home field advantage is such a big deal. Like Texas is like 19-2. At one point, Mississippi State was 19-0 at home, but they've been swept twice. Yeah. That's an outlier. But especially in Baton Rouge, we all know that's a big advantage. So all that to say, Matt, losing your second starter is a big deal. You lose one of your weekend guys, and it's going to be tough. I mean, we give South Carolina a lot of trouble, but they lost their ace before the season even started. So Paul Maneri had to kind of piece it together, and so without Cooper Moore, they're a different team.
Yeah. Imagine that, especially for a team that's struggling to throw strikes, losing your number 2 guy could hurt. Hey, you coming in town this weekend at all?
Look,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, but I do have LSU at Georgia. Like, I just got that assignment. That's May 10th, I think. Mm-hmm. So I will see LSU. I don't guess I'll be in Baton Rouge this weekend. And look, I love Nate Yeske. I think he's a great pitching coach. He's a great mind. What you tell kids, and we all know this by having kids, and what they actually do is 2 different things. And so what he has to do with these, and by the way, there's a revolving door. Like, he lost Anthony Ianson and Kate Anderson yesterday. Yeah. I mean, last year. Yeah. So now he's got to replace all these guys, all these personalities. I thought when I took over the high school job and I coached for 3 years that this is going to be fantastic. I'll just tell them what I know, and they'll go off and they'll do it, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna do all this stuff. I didn't realize I had to tell them 100 times, and they still won't get it.
Yeah.
And so it's a frustrating thing to be a college baseball coach, I'm sure.
Todd Walker, SEC Network. Of course, see that 12 up there and at the box for good reason, man. We always appreciate the time. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
But be well. It's After Further Review. It's a great perspective, man. I want to clip him talking about the 2-2 count and the importance of the 2-2. You want to know why Todd Walker is one of the greatest players that's ever played at LSU and had a long major league career and could hit in his sleep? Because of that. The deep level understanding of the importance of a 2-2 count. I mean, he just gave you a doctoral thesis on the 2-2 count. The 2-2 count. He's so good. I want to remind you about our friends at FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake. Of course, trust isn't given, it's earned. And just like LSU Baseball earns success pitch by pitch, inning by inning, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake providers earn trust every day. As LSU's championship health partner, Our Lady of the Lake cares for the defending national champions. They keep the Tigers healthy, strong, and ready to perform all season long. From the bullpen to the batter's box, the training room to the classroom, LSU baseball athletes trust the Lake to help them recover, perform, and stay at their best. It's not just for athletes. Of course, from sports medicine to pediatrics, heart care to recovery from everyday injuries, Our Lady of the Lake brings championship-level care to families across Louisiana. Trust the team that cares for the team you love. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Okay, Jimmy's here in 15 minutes for Auto Locks. Let me knock out a break. Waiting on the live to be posted with LSU and Northwestern State. We'll get to that, and we'll continue with AFR.
After Further Review.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are. Segan Air Airline, right across from Marucci at the Hitter's House, where we are usually once a month. Beautiful location right there. Mid-City on Donmore, LA 16 in Denham, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Hey, look, that Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, by the way, that's the place Terrio calls the, what's it called, like the outdoor oasis. I mean, it just goes forever, for like a plant wonderland. It just goes forever and ever and ever. And so they have new shipments of plants arriving at their locations darn near every day. And it's an awesome time to get in the garden and just plant something. Listen, the quad color hibiscus. You want something new? They arrive today. It's a unique blend of 4 different bloom colors in the same pot. It'll add a fun pop of color to those patio pots around the pool. So check them out today. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
It really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along.
The Dreams Come True Radiothon, presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic, starts April 20th. Your donations help grant dreams for Louisiana children battling life-threatening illnesses. At $1,000, our purple sponsors match the donations, and at $2,000, our gold sponsors match as well. Thanks to First American Bank and Boudreaux's Electric, along with Chad's Collision, Subaru of Baton Rouge, Lewis Mechanical, Patient Plus, and River Parish Contractors for making it happen.
I forgot to pick the winner for the purple, gold, and cold giveaway. So let's do that right now. Our winner is... Really need people to start leaving their names. So on the new text line, which we love, you have the option of adding your name, and really need you to do that. So I have the number of the winner, but I'd love to announce the winner's name right now. But I can't because this person didn't leave their name. So please leave your name when you enter. But congrats, we have our second winner. This is 2 days in a row now. You weren't here yesterday, Muse. 2 days in a row now we've announced the winner, and we don't have the winner's name.
So are we doing this again tomorrow?
Every day this week.
Okay, leave your name.
Please.
PSA.
Would love that very much.
Let's call this person Jerry.
Jerry! All right. I'll message Jerry and get Jerry's name.
What if it's actually Jerry? That'd be so good.
It's not Jerry.
Oh, it could be.
It's not.
We don't know.
If his name is Jerry, then your middle name is Octavius.
It's not. That's not.
And his name is not Jerry.
But yeah.
It's not. It's not. Muse, by the way, we'll get to the lineup here in a second. It's posted for LSU and Northwestern State. So we're talking about this yesterday while you were gone. I noticed, I thought this was maybe on your Instagram feed. It must have been an Instagram story. You posted a photo of a crawfish pot.
Yes.
And the paddle that had your name on it.
Yes.
So there's a paddle. It's like a metal paddle, and Musso's name is cut out of the metal.
Yep.
So there's holes in the paddle, M-U-S-S-O.
And then the eye of the tiger as
Which
well.
feels, by the way, like a lot of wasted space. Like you should have a flat paddle. Like you should have holes in the paddle. Anyway, we all opined that if you're going to have a paddle, like with your name cut out of the paddle. By the way, did you buy this or was this a gift?
Camille gave it to me for Christmas.
Had to be a gift.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get this paddle. You get a paddle and your own crawfish pot paddle, not just a paddle, but a paddle with your name, like a custom deal. You think this is your thing. Like this is your thing.
Yeah.
You think boiling crawfish is your thing. Like you're the ish when it comes to boiling crawfish.
I've gotten pretty good at it, I'll be honest. Yeah. I mean, I really have. I've gotten pretty good at it.
Well, I don't want you to lie to me. And I also think that's always in the eye of the beholder or the taster, as it were. So what I proposed is that you do a station crawfish boil.
Okay.
And so you boil crawfish now Thursday is the guarantee crawfish boil, the one we never get to go to because they have it during the show.
Correct.
And they mock us by having it in the parking lot. While everyone gets off of work, eats crawfish, and drinks beer, we sit in this cave with no windows, no natural light anywhere, and we have to work while everyone else gets to drink beer and eat crawfish.
Literally every year, yes.
I've been here for 16 of them.
Yeah, like it's not a...
16 of them. I used to have hair. I wasn't married
Hey, look at
when
that.
these started. Okay, it ain't new to me. I just expect it. 16 years now. You think, hey, let's do it at 6:30 p.m. at a place. Maybe do it at 6 so everybody can go. No, let's do it from 3 to 6 or 3 to 5, whenever they do.
I'm actually totally down to do that. I really enjoy boiling crawfish.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we actually want to set that up,
Yeah.
I'll totally do it.
I said I would pay. I'll buy the crawfish for our staff. We'll do a 104.5 ESPN LouisianaSports.net crawfish boil. And I include LouisianaSports.net so Marler can come and wear gloves and we can all mock him.
No, he's not invited if he's going to wear gloves.
No, he's invited so we can wear gloves so we can mock him.
Oh, man.
So we can mock him. I could take pictures of him, put it on social media, and mock him.
That's true. We could do that.
Were you here when I told the Marler glove story?
Yeah, no. I immediately texted him. I said, I'm sorry, is this true? Like, what are you doing, dude?
I mean, if you text me the words for the first time in the entire time that I've known you, I get to say this, you're wrong. You tell me that, like, I'm coming out swinging. You better be really right. And so he said, gloves is totally the way to go to eat crawfish. And I was like, okay, that's it. So I went straight to Twitter, and I said to my Louisiana friends, Marler just moved here from Atlanta. He's going through his first crawfish season, and he is insisting that wearing latex gloves while eating crawfish is the way to go. And I left it open-ended, knowing full well how this was going to go. Like, what do you think about this? And he got called every name you can.
Yeah.
Whatever name in your head you're thinking is the thing you would call that person, he got called all those names, all of them. Many of them strung together. He deserved it. Had to learn.
Yeah, no, I actually told him when we were talking about this, I was like, dude, that actually gets you uninvited from the boil. Like that's just, it's not a thing.
I told him my 75-year-old mother-in-law is the only person I know that wears latex gloves, and she can because she's 75.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. And so then Marler texted me over the weekend that his neighbor sent him a photo, and it was literally of an old lady at their crawfish boil, like a probably 70, 80-year-old woman wearing gloves. And he's like, I thought you were being like facetious about your mother-in-law. I was like, no, literally the only human I know in my life that wears latex gloves to eat crawfish is my 75-year-old mother-in-law, and it's okay because she's old and she can do whatever she wants.
Can't just take her stuff.
She's old.
Too old.
She's
Look
too
at her.
old.
She's old.
I knew where you were going. Take her stuff.
So good. I'm not taking her stuff, okay? The government. It's not like I'm taking her stuff over to my
You're really going to
place.
hate me now.
Yeah.
All right, starting lineups posted. LSU Northwestern State. They got run ruled by this team a year ago. Let's not have that happen again. Curiel leading up. Curiel, Arambidi, Brown. Milam, Pearson, Braun back at first base. Cerna's going to DH, bat seventh. Braden Simpson back in the lineup at second base as Dardar continues to recover from the ankle injury, and it's just general poor play. And Stanfield is in the lineup in left field and batting ninth, so that's good news. And then Zach Cowan going to get the ball tonight to start for LSU, get him some innings pitched. So Curiel, Arambidi, Brown, Milam, Pearson, Braun, Cerna, Simpson, Stanfield. That's how they'll line it up tonight with Cowan on the mound. 6:30 first pitch. You can listen to it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Always love telling you about Rouse's. Speaking of Rouse of crawfish, if you don't want to boil your own, just go to Rouse's. They have in-house boiling rooms every single day, hot, fresh, boiled, in-house at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints, rouses.com, rouses.com. You'll get them by any of your favorite Rouse's location, your nearest Rouse's location. Maybe you're heading home, and there's a few things you need on the grocery list that you forgot to get when you went grocery shopping this weekend. Happens to our family all the time. Easy way to save time, go on the Rouse's app, select your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them up for you. You pay on the app and everything. Pull up into one of the designated spots, boom, they'll bring it out to your vehicle when you get there. Rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouses, this feels like home. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review, and we are glad to have you hanging out. We're going to knock out our final break of the show. We come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. Been a really good one. If you missed Shea Dixon, hour number one, talking some Cruton. Todd Walker was here a smidge ago. We did get you your LSU football practice report. Top of hour two, we went through the Aiden Anding injury. If you missed that announcement, we broke it earlier today at LouisianaSports.net. Lane Kiffin did confirm it at his media availability. Torn Achilles for Aiden Anding. His season is over. We talked about what that means for depth at the defensive, at the cornerback spot for LSU. So great stuff. Catch it all on demand if you missed any of it today. AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Final break of the show. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks next.
AFR.
REV. New website for Rev. RevFiber.com. revfiber.com. Revfiber.com, revfiber.com, R-E-V, revfiber.com. That's the new website that I need you to go to learn more about Rev. Especially, look, yes, if you are a homeowner and they have fiber in your neighborhood, you need to switch to Rev. New areas in the Baton Rouge, neighborhoods in the Baton Rouge area. Santa Maria, Country Club Crossing, Country Club West, Highland Greens, Highland Lakes, Highland Plantation, Highland Trace, Lafitte Hill, Live Oak Estates, Homestead, Jefferson Crossing, Round Oak, Elliott Road, Hoosiatu, Tiger Bend, Gonzales, Prairieville, Plaquemine, Denham, Springfield, Hammond, Ponchatoula, Covington, Mandeville, LaPlace, Reserve, Thibodaux, Houma, LaRose, Grand Isle. Y'all, fiber buried under the ground, better connectivity, faster speeds, revfiber.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Just let me know when we're back, Muse.
We're back, man.
No, when we're back on air.
You're
live
on
the air.
You're on air right now.
Right now?
Right now, yeah.
I don't believe you. Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR. We are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Just out here doing some radio. About to wrap this thing up, make some bets, and, go home and watch LSU hopefully not lose to a Southland school.
There we go. Let's start off in the NBA play-in series tonight and start off one of the hottest teams in the East in the second half, the Charlotte Hornets. So a little bit fired up at home tonight. This was 6.5. I think it's 6 right now. We even took it at 5.5 earlier. It's all about there's no bigger difference in style of play than any other league than the NBA, regular season and postseason. That's obvious, and they've made it apparent to everybody this year. So we're going to take the veteran team, veteran coach, veteran players. We're going to take the Heat into point now at +6. But I know a lot of the mobile sports books don't put it on even numbers, so 5.5 or 6.5 either way. We're going to take the Heat there. Okay. Night game tonight. Phoenix is one of those teams that had a missing piece for a big part of it. Desmond Bane, he's back, and they are striding right now. Portland's beat up on a lot of the tanking teams. They're going to be good next year. Klingon, man, the guy from UConn, the big 7-footer, led them to that national championship. He's stepping out and hitting threes. They are a team of the future, but way more veterans at home. Got to keep peace back. It's my favorite play in the NBA tonight. Phoenix -2.5 at home. Great. Major League Baseball tonight. We're going to go back with the Pirates. Pirates top 10 in every hitting category in Major League Baseball. How about 15 runs of support for Paul Skeens last night? It's
crazy.
A different story for him and his run support. We talked about that rotation. They're really good. And, man, Brandon Lau now 6 home runs from the second baseman, part of that 15-run barrage. We're going to go back with them tonight. One of those really young, promising arms, Max Keller. He's off to a great start this year. Not so much the case. We've been fading Mikolas for the Cardinals. We're going to, for the Nationals. So Nationals are hitting, though, but we're going to take Pirates and put them in a parlay with Lopez and the Braves to bounce back after losing the first game of that 3-game set. Paying about $150 or so, moneyline parlay with Atlanta.
It's coming back at $1.56 right now.
Very good, even better. And then late tonight, take our hand off the stove. We're going right back to it. We were being blasted 11-0 in the second inning. We're coming back for more. Give us the Boston Red Sox minus the juice on the road. And look, Gray has been Sonny Gray. We know how good he's been. We know Remember him back in his days at Vanderbilt. We're going to go with him tonight for the Boston Red Sox to bounce back. They did hit the ball last night. We're going to take Boston in the money line there.
Boston on the money line. You've got Pirates, Braves, money line parlay. And then in the NBA, Heat and Suns, both against the number. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
OG, the original Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring. Yes, indeed. My first sponsor 35 years ago.
How about it? Let's go.
How about it?
Shout out to Sammy's Grill. All right. Thank you, Otter. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, man. It's after further review. Always love telling you about Evermore. Always got my Evermore with me. You should as well. Healthier alternative. Natural artesian water. And a Louisiana product. So, buy Evermore at great local retailers. Find the retailer at evermore.com or buy it online at evermore.com. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Drink Evermore. All right, that'll do it for us. Muse Polly, thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Been a really good show. We're getting on down the road, and I always have the opportunity to tell you about Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it better than anyone else over at Relief Windows. They also do shutters and shades at Relief Windows. But as Brandon Holly will always tell you, number one product is always customer satisfaction. It's not just a line. It's not a positioning statement. It's not something they put on the wall in their office just because it looks good or sounds good. It's how they live and how they operate their business. Brandon often says to me, as a business owner, you have to be willing to spend your last dollar to make your customer happy. And when that's the vision that drives every decision in that company, you're going to come up roses. And Brandon often tells me, he's like, sometimes I like when people complain because that gives us an opportunity as a company to show who we are. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, but they're always experience, quality, and service at Relief Windows.